Welcome back to MilduraWeekly.com.au. This is Talk of the Town, and joining me in the studio this morning is Mildura Rural City Councillor Mark Eckel. Mark, thanks for coming in.
Thanks, Vinny.
Now, might seem a bit weird to be talking about this with elections a little bit away, but I mean, realistically, they're only around the corner, and in the past few days, you've expressed a desire to see council maybe reconsider some practices in terms of, well, mainly in a bid to attract some quality candidates ahead of the next election. Can you just detail for our viewers what those main concerns are, and I guess what you would like to see change?
Oh, I suppose it's coming after on the back of 5 terms as a councillor and issues that I've raised in the past that I think for me they're coming to a head really. So I'm really foreshadowing with 1.5 years left of this particular council the opportunity of getting some quality candidates. I'm always after getting quality candidates to stand, and wanting candidates, if they're thinking at this time that they might stand, to come to as many council meetings as possible, but also the opportunity of opening it up to those people that work through the day. And so it's a quality field. It's not how big the field is each year as far as the field is concerned for council, but the council elections, but also the quality. And I think that there are a lot of stay-at-home carers and that have great knowledge and could be utilised, and obviously the professionals during the day that have a full program during the day that might be available to stand for council if the meetings were held at a more reasonable time.
So you're looking at maybe moving things like council forums, planning forums, portfolio meetings, that day-to-day council business that is probably now held in the middle of the day, moving them maybe to outside of traditional hours to allow people, I guess, to serve as a councillor and meet those obligations, but still have their day job, so to speak.
Well, council forums is a good example. They go for 4 to 5 hours. So
and held in the middle of the day.
Yes. So that gives the opportunity of the presenters, that sometimes the presenters come from the community. They're obviously busy people and they can present at night. And it gives councils, I think, and this comes from experience, the opportunity to have more interaction with the general management, with the higher structure within council, because they're the people that have got the information at the tip of their fingers, and if questions need to be answered on the spot rather than going back to them through junior officers or whatever the case may be, I find that that's a great opportunity.
Yep. You've spoken in the past about the dedication it takes to be a councillor. It is time consuming, it's a big role to play. As you said, you've served 5 terms yourself. Is a 6th term on the cards for you, or are these issues you're talking about, if they're not addressed or change doesn't happen, would that play a factor in you maybe not going around again?
I'm going to use the same sort of rhetoric that I've used in the past, and it's truthful. I always sit back and look at the candidates and see what sort of candidates you have, and this will give the opportunity to bring terrific candidates. If I have to stand down, well and good. 5 terms is 16 years is a fair bit, but the issue is, where I'm a little bit concerned, is that I see that a number of councillors will possibly stand down this time. So continuity is going to be important. That's why I'm leaving my options open at this particular point in time. But if we had a really good standard of applications, I'd certainly consider giving it a break.
Just to change gears for a moment, and just to probably touch on something in your portfolio as Economic Development and Tourism Councillor, the Australian Baseball Intermediate League Championships have just wrapped up. I know in the last council meeting you gave that event a big rap. So I mean, from your portfolio perspective, how important is it for Mildura to be able to host these events? I mean, this particular one we're going to see back here for the next 3 years. What does it do for our region to have something like that here?
Well, I think it's absolutely vital. When we're talking tourism, see, when we talk events, festivals and events, of course, we are talking, and particularly of that nature, we are talking about really good numbers as far as tourism is concerned. And if you go back and have a look at stats, I think Tourism Australia do a statistics that states that 25% of people that come for a major event over 2 or 4 days that are tied up with that event do consider coming back for a holiday and do spend a holiday back in Mildura. Now, with that particular event that you're talking about, you've got teams from all over Australia, and the team from Perth won it, for instance, and I didn't see anybody or talk to anybody at that tournament that had been to Mildura previously.
Yeah.
And when I was talking to Cam, who is the CEO of Baseball Australia, talking to him, he said that he was just thrilled with the city. But not only that, he couldn't believe the facilities that we've got here to hold that level of an event. So very, very important. And I think that future councils are going to have to pay a lot of attention to the opportunities that come our way for staging events like that. And when you're talking about these top tennis players coming here and looking for a seed, virtually there's nobody that comes from a tourism perspective to look at this event. The locals enjoy it. But when we had the underage championships, it was a fantastic investment into the town, because you've got parents, you've got the support that comes around bringing juniors here.
That's another way to put the area on the map too, isn't it?
Yeah, absolutely. So it's very important. And now with Ash Barty, actually,
a lot of people would remember her first foray into the I guess the media scene in tennis, being the Mildura Green International. So
and we can ride that as we did ride the issue of the Davis Cup. When we had the Davis Cup here, you've got no idea how much profile that gave our courts and gave Mildura for years after that. So I think Ash Barty going around, it'll be mentioned from time to time, I'm sure, that she had a big start here in Mildura as well.
Absolutely. Mark, thanks so much again for coming in. Really appreciate it.
Yeah, thanks.
Be sure to tune back into milduraweekly.com.au for more videos, and be sure to grab a copy of this week's Mildura Weekly for more with Councillor Mark Eckel.